In a charming little town nestled in the heart of the countryside, there lived an elderly woman named Edna. Edna was known throughout the town for her quaint cafe, where she served the most delectable cornbread and pumpkin desserts. Her secret? The freshest ingredients, straight from her own harvest. This year, Edna had a bountiful crop of corn and pumpkins waiting to be transformed into her famous treats for the upcoming town feast. Excitement buzzed through the air as the townspeople eagerly anticipated Edna's culinary creations. Edna, however, faced an unexpected challenge. She had asked her sister Martha to help with the harvest, but Martha had declined, citing various excuses. Edna, undeterred, turned to some of her friends, hoping they would lend a hand, but they too declined, occupied by their own tasks. Determined not to let her town down, Edna decided to take matters into her own hands. With a determined spirit and her trusty basket in tow, she set out early one morning to the cornfield. The sun was already high in the sky as she painstakingly picked each ear of corn and lovingly plucked the pumpkins from the vine. Hours turned into a full day, and as the sun began to set, Edna felt her strength waning. She fell to her knees, exhausted and discouraged. Tears welled up in her eyes as she looked at the vast amount of corn and pumpkins still left to harvest. The town feast was only 2 days away, and she was far from finished. As she knelt there, her heart heavy with worry, a kind-hearted man named Edgar happened to pass by. He saw Edna struggling and immediately rushed to her side. With a warm smile, he offered his assistance. Edna hesitated for a moment, but then gratefully accepted his help. Edgar worked tirelessly alongside Edna, and together they made remarkable progress. The task that had seemed insurmountable for Edna alone became manageable with Edgar's support, but they knew that time was running out, and there was still much work to be done. Edgar, recognizing the urgency of the situation, decided to go into town and share Edna's predicament with the townspeople. He spoke passionately about Edna's dedication and the love she poured into her cafe. He told them about her tireless efforts to provide for the town feast and how she had never given up. Moved by Edgar's words and inspired by Edna's determination, the townspeople couldn't stand idly by any longer. They gathered their families and friends and, armed with baskets and determination, made their way to Edna's farm. The sight of the townspeople coming to Edna's aid brought tears of gratitude to her eyes. Together, they worked harmoniously, laughing, chatting, and sharing stories as they harvested the remaining corn and pumpkins. The sun dipped below the horizon, but their spirits remained high, fueled by a sense of community and purpose. By the time the harvest was complete, the moon was high in the sky, and everyone was exhausted but jubilant. Edna's farm was cleared, and her barn was filled with the freshest corn and pumpkins. The townspeople had rallied together, and the sense of devotion and unity that had blossomed among them was palpable. With the harvest complete, Edna and her newfound friends set to work, baking cornbread and crafting pumpkin desserts. The town feast arrived, and the aroma of their labor filled the air. The townspeople sat down to a magnificent spread, with Edna's cornbread and pumpkin desserts stealing the show. As they savored each bite, they couldn't help but reflect on the lesson they had learned from Edna, the power of devotion and the importance of never giving up. Edna had faced adversity and prevailed, not through force, but through her unwavering dedication to her craft and her community. And so, that year's town feast became more than just a celebration of delicious food. It became a celebration of the indomitable spirit of a woman named Edna and the unity of a town that refused to let her down.